When I came to Canada, I was nicely surprised to see Canadian geese walking freely anywhere you can imagine. You can see them in the parks, you can see them in the residential areas, side by side with the children's playgrounds. The most striking experience was once when I was driving on the highway, and a family of a goose with its small goslings were crossing the 5-lane highway, and the vehicles usually that drive with 110, 120 kilometers per hour or more were dead stopped, dead frozen in front of the side of this big procession. The law in Canada makes it illegal to harm or to kill a goose, and not complying with the law can result in very big dollar fines. I was shocked. After all, every country and every kingdom and every land has its own laws of governance.
Of course they do. The constitution, the legal system and laws testify about the values in this nation. Is it a democracy or dictatorship? Is it friendly to investors? What are the things that it tries to stimulate and the things that it tries to control or eliminate? This week we are concluding the study about Christ and his law, and the focus shifts back to the big picture about the kingdom of Christ and the war that it is engaged in.
Jesus said that his kingdom has already come. It is here and it is now. This implies, after all, that he has invaded someone else's kingdom. But visually and tangibly, this is not so. Why? Because when Jesus speaks about his kingdom, he is referring to a kingdom of our hearts and our minds. And these are the big factories of motivation, of reason, and everything else is just a byproduct, our actions and our habits.
We can't box God's kingdom in our limited dimensions. Yes, sin was localized on earth. Adam gave up the right to govern this earth, and Satan is the one who reigns here now. But this war is not won by gaining territory or resources, but by changing people, by changing values and who we are.
The kingdom of our hearts and minds might be governed by a wide variety of different set of laws. We can pick and choose any law, and at the same time we can object all of them. We decide what we desire. We decide what our passion is. We decide what our priorities are. But if we follow Christ, clearly we are in enemy's territory. And the laws of this land contradict and oppose the laws of Christ's kingdom. We are as foreigners and strangers to the people around us. Sometimes we speak not just with an accent or dialect, but to the people around us we speak completely different language.
This is true, but there is a danger to it if our language becomes like the one of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. People understand the language of care, love, sacrifice, and this is how this war is won.
In the previous lessons we were clear on one point. The law is the standard by which we live. But none of us is or has ever been able to stand up to that standard perfect. So does this deny us a citizenship in God's kingdom? No. There is a legal resolution. That is, I have to go to the closest lawyer and fill in a declaration of my wrongdoings and shortcomings. Then he's authorized to release a certificate of righteousness. And with this document we can go before the court. And because of this lawyer and this certificate, we can be granted a citizenship. I hope you have believed me what I just said, because there is no other way the court judge who follows the letter of the law will let you in the kingdom, because this certificate of righteousness is by faith only.
We are incapable to save ourselves through our own efforts. By grace, we are given something that we don't deserve. By faith, expressing our desire to be on God's side, we become citizens of His kingdom. And because we are citizens of the kingdom, we live by the law and principles of it. The law doesn't save us. It attracts us to God, and we live by it because we are part of the kingdom.
Imagine you have made it into the kingdom of God. No, really, imagine you are in the kingdom of God right now. How do you feel? Look around and see, what do you really like here? Isn't it because of the good principles that govern this country that you like it? The beauty, the peace, the freedom. I don't know what do you see, but if it is because of the good and holy law that it looks so desirable to us, how can we even think sometimes that the law is done with or being crucified? Moreover, it has been reassured as important and life-giving.
If we believe that God's kingdom is here now, and if by expression of our faith we become citizens of it, then God will write His law into our hearts and into our minds, and we will be His people.